Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about some commonly confused words that people keep interchanging, but you shouldn't. Hi, I'm Ajit from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learn it together English fluency program. With Capshine, learning English is fun, quick, easy, affordable, and effective. And we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. Great. Let's talk about some of these words that are commonly confused, why, and what their actual usage should be. So the first one is principle versus principle. Sounds the same, but the spellings are different and they mean very different things. Principles are the foundational rules that someone follows, the principles of good economics, for example, right? Or the principal structures in place for something. The core foundation is the principle. But principal or principal, pronounced the same as that, is your headmaster, right? How do you know the difference? Well, when I was a child, my principal told me that your principal has a PAL, is your pal, right? A very weird way to remember it, but it's an effective way to remember it. So the headmaster ends with the pal, principal does not, right? That's an easy way to remember the difference. The next one is that, the opposite of win, lose, versus lose, which is the opposite of tight. Notice the spelling here. The opposite of win has only one O, whereas the opposite of tight has two O, right? So the word LOOSER does not mean someone who lost, does not mean someone who is the opposite of winner. It is just a higher degree of loose. It's loose, it's loser, right? So make sure when you use these words, you know which one you're using and what you're trying to convey through that. The next one is dessert versus desert. Well, dessert means the stuff that you eat after your food, the sweets that you eat. The dessert is the place where there is no water, like the Sahara Desert, right? Notice the spelling, there's only one S for that, but two S when it comes to sweets that you have after food, right? So two S's versus one S. The next one is moral, like a moral choice. Something that is good or bad is moral, right? On the other hand is morale. Notice the either, that's a different word altogether. Morale is the amount of motivation someone has, right? The team's morale was really high, or the team's morale was really low because they felt that what they were doing was morally wrong, right? Good versus bad is moral. Morale is the motivation levels of people. Speaking of higher morale, if you want to improve your communication skills, make sure you check out the 30-day free trial with Capshine. With this, you get access to speaking opportunities, you get to learn and practice as a group, you get a personal coach who gives you recommendation and feedback on how to improve, live classes to get your doubts clarified live with a teacher, and of course, daily micro challenges and lessons through which you can improve your foundational skills. Great. Let's continue looking at these commonly confused words. The next set of words is compliment versus compliment. Sounds the same, but notice the spelling here. There is an I here versus an E here. This is a version of the word complete. When something else completes something else, then it is complementary, right? You might have heard of complementary sets in mathematics. Complement, to complete, as with the jigsaw puzzle. But compliment here is to appreciate someone, to praise someone. The teacher complimented the student for the very well-written essay. Compliment. He used great vocabulary and great grammar that complemented his writing style. Completed, right? Compliment. Awesome. The next set is personal versus personnel. Personal is something that's your own, a personal story or something that's personal to you. Personnel refers to human resources. People of the workforce are called personnel. And of course, stationery versus stationery. Again, sounds the same, but notice the spelling difference. There is an A here versus an E here. When spelling stationary with an A, this talks about something that is not moving, something that refuses to move or cannot be moved. The food truck was stationary, right, during the evening when they were serving food. On the other hand, stationary with an E talks about your pencils and pens and office supplies. Stationary, that has an E in it, not an A. And finally, emigrate versus immigrate. Very similar words, can be used either way sometimes, but emigrate, notice the E there, means to exit a country. When you emigrate from India to another country, well, you're emigrating, right? When you're going to a foreign land, you go through the emigration gate, right? But if you're moving into a new country, let's say you're an Indian, you've been in India all your life, and you're moving in, you've got a visa to move into Canada, let's say, then you're immigrating, you're an immigrant there. You're there from a foreign land. So an easy way to remember this is E for exit and I for in, right? So emigrate, immigrate. Two words commonly interchanged, but they should not be. Infer and imply. Again, very, very commonly interchanged, but they mean different things. When you infer something, you understand something, right? You notice, you read something or you hear something and you infer something. You understand something. When you imply, you're suggesting something. So this means to conclude, this means to suggest. You're suggesting something without necessarily saying it. He implied that my work was not good when he criticized my team's work, right? So he's not saying it directly, but said it indirectly, right? So to say something indirectly is to imply. To understand something that is not outright said is to infer. Eminent versus imminent. Someone who is eminent is famous, he or she is a celebrity, but something that's imminent is going to happen. It's inevitable. Something that is very likely to happen in the immediate future is imminent. It's imminent that we're going to have thunderstorms tomorrow or today because the weather forecast says so, right? People who are eminent are often seen in luxury cars and living lavish lifestyles. Great! I hope you found this video informative. Make sure you don't make the mistakes that we've spoken about in this video. If you like the video, make sure you leave a like, hit subscribe and hit the bell notification. And of course, don't forget to check out the 30-day free trial by going to capshine.com or downloading the app from the Play Store. Thanks for watching.